Fire is a very important element of survival. Now, depending on your situation, but in cold weather, or if you need to cook, boil water, just for morale and a lot of other reasons, that fire is so important. And so we're going to take a look at my little fire kit. This is something that I've been keeping with me in my truck, and it just has a lot of different fire elements in here. And I always try to keep this complete. You know, if you're not careful, you take little pouches and you pull things out to use them. I try to keep this really complete and solid. And so we're going to just take a look at it. First off, I just have a little Maxpedition bag that I just really like Maxpedition. They're super tough. I've had this bag for over a year, and it looks brand new. And a little paracord pull zipper, and it opens up very nicely to all my fire kit. And you know, you can get as organized as you want to, and especially for things that are vital to life, I like to have them organized and well stocked. So one of the things I've done, I have a lot of different elements here, and we're going to go through and look at each one and a little bit about why I like to have these things in my fire kit. Now, even though I keep an EDC knife with me at all times, I like to have an extra knife, especially for a fire kit, because with a knife, you can really do a lot of things as far as cutting and being able to make tinder, and really tinder is really the big thing. Being able to cut into small pieces to get a fire really started. And so having a really good knife is just important in survival all in general. But of course it does relate to fire starting capability. This is just a small Kershaw leak. Of course, one of the old standbys is just a regular Bic lighter, and I really like the Bic lighter. It's reliable, it's simple, it's easy to use. And really, you know, if you're not careful, you get too complicated with your fire starting. I use the lighter more than any other fire implement, hands down. But I have to take time to master my other fire elements. So this is still the most convenient and easy to use. Next on the ease factor is the stormproof matches. And these are really great. These are lifeboat matches, but these matches will hold up to about everything. And you can see the way they're made. They're very well protected. They're waterproof, they're windproof, and these are just exceptional. And you get a striker board as well. Not just regular plain old matches like this. And you've been there before. These things can be very unreliable. They get a little bit wet. They don't stay lit long. Having some really good safety matches, something you're not using all the time. You put these back, you're not going to use them, and in case you ever have a bad situation, you've got them. Even trying to blow this one out. Good stuff. Of course, the old standby, my Swedish fire steel with a striker. And the one thing about a Swedish fire steel is that this will continue to make fire over and over and over until this rod is completely destroyed. And as you can see, it's a really solid piece. I've used this quite a bit, and it's still a really heavy, full-size rod. Of course, with the striker attached to it, keeping this together. And of course, if I don't have this, I could use the knife. But this is just one of my old standbys. In fact, I have a lot of these fire steels, and I feel like they're very important. But one of the biggest reasons I like the fire steel is because in a situation with its grid down, where lighter fluid may run out, your matches run out, butane, all those things that you're using, the Swedish fire steel will continue to work on and on. And so you're not reliant on other sources. So a Swedish fire steel in a survival situation can be critical. Now here I have a blast match, and I've used these before and demonstrated in different videos, but the one thing about the blast match is that it's very similar to the fire steel. It does create a spark very easily, and you can do this one-handed. So, you know, this is a great tool to have. The Air Force blast match is also excellent, a little bit larger than this. But this little blast match is just exceptional. Now, having a really reliable lighter like this little Numith Towhill lighter, you use lighter fluid in it, and it's just a very simple design. It's waterproof, and then you have your striker, and then right there you have your fire. One thing about this is, you refill this, you can keep this handy. In fact, I keep one on my keychain at all times as well. And it's just really handy, and again, waterproof, and you can really depend on this, but that's until your lighter fluid runs out. It has a nice aluminum case to it and a little place to hook for a little lanyard or be able to hook to your pack. And I also have a Fresnel lens, which really is great. I mean, this is one thing that you're never going to run out of energy. These magnify the sun rays. This is a great thing for sunny days and being able to get that beam and get an ember started with this. As long as you have the sun and you have this Fresnel lens, you have a way to make fire. Yeah, I got this down at Going Gear, and this is just a very simple, tried and true design. Fresnel lens? Yeah, not today. And as far as Tinder, I have this little trioxane. This is fire starting military issue, or previous military issue. I don't think they issue these anymore. But I had a couple of cases of this stuff, and I always put this in my pack, and it really is great for starting fire. But by far my favorite fire tinder is cotton balls with Vaseline. And here I've got a couple, in fact I've got about 4 shoved into this little bottle. And this kind of keeps it from getting wet, but these are incredible fire starters. In fact, one cotton ball will burn for about 10 minutes. And using the Vaseline, which is very flammable, it'll keep the fire going even in wet conditions. You can light these and be able to start a fire in some of the most adverse conditions. Of course, you can see the wind and the rain have no effect on this cotton ball with Vaseline. It just burns. Considering that fire is so important, it's really great to have a good organized kit for your fire. And redundancy is very important. Your lighters can go out, your fuel can go out. It may be very difficult to light using a Swedish fire steel. There's certain limitations to each one of these and certain strengths with each one. So I felt like with a variety of different things, I can pretty much cover most of my bases. You take this, seal it up, drop it down in your bug out bag, your go bag, you put it in your truck, you have it handy to where you can get to it, and then you know that you always have a way to make fire. Fire is extremely important for warmth, for food preparation, for boiling water if you don't have potable water to drink. And it's also a great morale booster, and it will keep down predators if you're in a remote area. Now, if you have a fire kit and there's something that you have in there that I haven't thought about, or you want to list a kit down below, I think it would be great to be able to, to pass this along to the different viewers and just let everybody know what's good for their kits and what they need to be looking for. A lot of times with comments, I see a lot of pitfalls that I may be approaching, and sometimes I see some really good ideas. So guys, make sure you just participate down in the comments and just help everyone to get on the same page, because survival is the main goal, and that's what we're here for. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Now this is a little small lighter, but this is one of the Numith. What is it? Of course, the old standby, my feet, in a survival situation, and okay. Now even though I keep a knife on my body, okay, it's waterproof, and you can seal it. And then you have your striker, and then right there you have your fire.